Hey everybody, it's me, Michael, Bay Area Hiking Guides, giving information, that knowledge to go out there and hike with confidence. And in this video, we're going to be talking about competition. Competition is definitely taking over the recreational activity we call hiking. Alright guys, well stay tuned, and gals, guys and gals. Okay, so the deeper side of hiking competition, and this is just competition with hiking, but although there's a lot of competition out there with a lot of things in life. You know, you've got competition with sports, you get competition with basketball, whether it's an individual sport or a group sport, you get competition with everything. You get competition with bingo, you got competition with tic-tac-toe. You want to talk about your stats. You want to bring them all up and let everybody know what your stats are, how much mileage you've done, how fast you did each mile, how you got from point A to point B, and the amount of time you did it in, how much water you brought, you know, what you're carrying, what your gear is. You're just an awesome guy or gal. When I played tic-tac-toe, I don't remember ever talking about my stats. Although there was that kid back in grade school. God, the only loss I ever had. I had 3 Cats games and 50 wins. No, but really, I mean, let's break it down here. Okay, I'm going to take my hat off because I'm starting to feel like Steven Spielberg back when he filmed the Indiana Jones movie, The Lost Ark. So hiking competition, I mean, if you look at the oak trees, do you think they're competing? Do you think they're putting up their stats constantly? Do you think all the trees are putting up their stats? Or you think animals and nature are putting up their stats? Are they really? Or are they trying to tell us something a little bit more deeper that we just don't understand? Or do we understand? Well, that's entirely up to you, because I think honestly nature is telling us we all need to work together. All this competition that I see it in social media, I see it in hiking groups, I see it in really big hiking groups. I'm not just talking about hiking groups that are like 2 or 3 people. I'm talking to some hiking groups that are out there that are like 50 people. Really honestly, anything wrong with people that want to have their stats and write them down in their own personal journal. I get it, so you can kind of see where you're at, what's, you know, how you're improving. If you're training for something, you're getting ready for some big hike, whether it's a Grand Canyon or Half Dome or Everest, God help us. So, and that's okay. I get it. You journal how many miles you've done. You journal what you know, your time is with the certain miles, or where you went, and that I completely understand that, because it's your own personal thing and you're doing it so you're getting ready for some big event that you have coming up before. Completely understandable. But why? I'm asking you guys, why do we need to let everybody know how many miles we've done? Why do we need to let everybody know how fast we did each mile? But I mean, if you're trying to explain a story, if you're trying to explain what you did, it kind of makes sense. But deeper down inside, and I get stuck in it too sometimes, but deeper down inside, why is it that we need to tell everybody all of our stats every time? How many miles we did? What's our stats? How fast we did each mile? Because I think it's really honestly doing something else to the hiking recreational activity that we have here in the Bay Area and beyond, because of, you know, apps and step recorders and, you know, even all trails for that matter. That's kind of got us into this other mindset. And you don't just see this with men, you see it with women too. So deeper down, why do we need to say that? Why do we need to express to everybody what our stats were for each single hike we went on? If there's something at the end here, I mean, what do you get an icy or something? Is that what's going on? But I want to know, because deeper down inside, is it really you trying to account for your ego? Is it really trying to let everybody know what your stats are because you're filling a void in your own personal life? I don't want you guys to answer this question with, well, because it's cool. I'm asking you, don't just answer this question with a surface level response. I want you to try to answer this question from a deeper perspective to why you need to tell everybody the amount of mileage, how fast you do each mile, and what time, how many hours you spent out there, what's the real purpose of all that information? I mean, unless somebody asks you, I guess it's okay, or unless you're trying to tell a story to explain the crazy hike you just did and what you were doing so they can kind of get an understanding, sure. I have hiked with some really awesome hikers. I've hiked with Eagle Scouts. I've hiked with people that are paraplegic. I've hiked with people that are blind. I've hiked with people that have, can hike a lot of mileage. I've met some great people. I've met people that are, Triple Crowns. I did PCT and Continental Divide and the Appalachian Trail. Okay? So I've met a whole slew of different people. And I don't think I go to all those people or look at all those people and say, well, this person's better than this person because they've achieved this, or they've done this much mileage, or they've got this much stat. Is it really necessary to even look at that? Because some of the people that I've hiked with, they can't do 20 miles. They can't do 15 miles with a heavy pack. They can't go as fast as this guy and that guy and this girl and this girl. They're not able to stay up to the top with the group. They're some of the most best hikers I've ever had before. They're some of the most incredible, amazing people I've ever met in my life. And they're also people that I've learned throughout my hikes. So I don't want you guys to kind of look at this as like I'm attacking the person that's trying to be competitive. Because I'm not. I'm just asking deeper down. Not all that surface stuff, but deeper down, what is really the reason for it all? Because if you look at this and you see it from another perspective, we're doing something else, folks. We're doing something else, and we're looking like something we shouldn't be looking like. And I'm going to get in that in just a second. Think about the other person. Think about the person that can do 26 and a half miles. Maybe because they're not physically able to. Maybe because there's some kind of disability there that we not be able to recognize. Maybe because they're starting off. Maybe because they never hiked before in their life. Maybe because they're going through emotional struggles. Start putting yourself into other people's shoes. When you think of something and what you say, what you do, and what you act, now we all have difficulties with this, me included. Even though when I go to work every single day, I have to put myself in somebody else's shoes. I have to see things from their perspective, not mine. But think about these people that want to go on a hike, that are starting off, that can only do a half a mile, a quarter of a mile. Okay, which is fine. There's nothing wrong with being able to do just a quarter of a mile. Because the concept, the reasoning behind hiking a quarter of a mile is not about the competition, the 20 miles, the amount of time you did it in. No, it's nothing about that at all. It's about being out in nature. Being with these oaks that I've looked so much forward to after going through trying to assess a way to get out of the Sierra, get back to my oaks and my wife. But it's being in these moments, learning about things, which I'll get to in a minute. But think about the other person and how you can help the other person to achieve whatever it is that they want to achieve. Maybe their goal's different than yours. Maybe it's less than yours. Maybe it's I just want to do 4 miles. Maybe it's I want to go a half a mile. And that's what we can do as a society altogether. Not talk about how great we are and what we've achieved. It's nothing to do with that. We need to talk about how we can help the other person and what we can provide to them through whatever journey is they are in life. Because if you're constantly competing, if you're constantly putting up your stats, your mileage, your elevation, whatever it is, how fast you can eat a hamburger when you're done hiking, I don't know. But if you're doing this, you're making the other person that can't do that amount of mileage, that can only go a half a mile or a mile or whatever it is, might be 6 miles, you're making them want to give up because they don't think that they can get to that level. And then they never want to go hiking again. And that's the real shame. Because I would rather see people out hiking than to be around a bunch of egotistical dicks. Okay? Because that's not fun. So I'd rather people see going out there and enjoying themselves, having fun. Getting that half a mile goal. That's where it really is. That's where it really is. I'm getting serious here now, as you probably can tell with the energy that I'm putting off. People are struggling every single day. Every day. And we're losing the sense of reality here, where these people that are struggling are considered to be ghosts to so many in society, when the answers to all that they need are right here in nature, that is provided to us. It's accessible. Whether it's going down the street to the park and just kind of being in the moment with the trees, or whether it's hiking in the mountains, but it's right here for us, and that can help us through that journey. Because being trapped inside of a house or work, being in a cubicle, whatever it is that you do, is just going to completely suppress everything that's going on down below. That's why I make this channel, to encourage people to go out there and learn new things, to encourage people to go hiking regardless of what their level is, regardless how many miles they do or any of that stuff. And the miles that I've done that's been crazy amount of miles, those are my crazy hikes. That's stuff like, oh, you want to see how stupid I was? I did some crazy hikes. But I'm not trying to prove anything with it. I do those long, big, massive hikes in my own time, my own record. That stuff is done because I'm trying to understand a deeper side of life, to know what it's like to not have everything available, and then when I get out of them, I appreciate everything in life. Or maybe I do those hikes to get ready for something. Or maybe it's because I'm trying to deeper understand a deeper side of me. We could better this community. We can better what's going on right now as society with everything that's been going on. We're finally pushing out of COVID. And hopefully it'll fade away. But this is the time to help those in need. Right now. Whether you're with me or you're not, that's entirely up to you. What happens when you're on these hikes and when you're going really fast and you're trying to get from point A to point B at a quick time? Maybe it's because you're trying, there could be other reasons, sure. You're trying to get to the car before the sun goes down. Completely understand. But if you're trying to do it to try to impress somebody, you're completely misunderstanding the point of what hiking really is about. There is so much stuff going on right now with where I'm sitting. There's stuff that's preparing for the winter. As we speak, with these oaks building up, making sure they've got enough acorn production to go around come fall. Right now as we speak, they're producing. Right now as we speak, they're speaking to me. It's the soul inside each of these trees. But the lichen, learning about the lichen, the poison oak. What's the poison oak doing? It's there, so in case we cross it, we itch. No. Deeply inside, what's really going on with the poison oak? Why is it there? Because it's providing. It's providing an importance, and it's an incredible healer. So, the answers that we seek could be right here. And when you go so fast and you try to knock things out at a certain time, you're misunderstanding. You're missing out looking at some really cool stuff. Some really awesome stuff. I'm a little faster than Beth, but man, she passes up stuff all the time. And she's like, hey, did you see that rattlesnake back there? It was a big adult rattlesnake. What? Yeah, it was right on the side of the trail. I totally missed it up, right? Because I'm going so fast. And she picks up right on it. So, that's what's really cool about taking your time, going a little slower than everybody else. It's just to take your time. And the other thing is when you're with a hiking group, if the goal is to go fast, if the goal is to do a large amount of mileage, if the goal is to go all these things, let everybody know before you do the hike. Because if that's not what the goal is, you go as a group and you leave as a group. Right? That's the ultimate goal. It's not to get to the top of the mountain. It's that everybody is back to the car all together safely. That's the goal. But getting to the top of the mountain is the last, that's a side mission. Okay? Because trying to get to the mountain, even if you don't get to the top, and getting back to the car, the fact that you got up that day and you got in your car and went out to go try to get to the top of the mountain, even though you didn't get to the top of the mountain, but you got halfway, and you got home safely, that's an achievement in itself. So, I went on a hiking group one time. A big group. It was about 50 people. All big, massive circle. We all, what each other's names are. Everybody's talking about what their stats are and all this crap. I personally, myself, acted like something I was not. I acted like I'm going to just take a bunch of photos, I'm going to go really slow, to see what would happen. And how they would handle somebody that was not as fast as everybody else in the group. And I was at the back of the group, taking my time. They wanted to kick me out and say, you need to go back to the car because you're incapable of doing this hike. Me, I'm incapable. Because I'm too slow. Well, when I finally broke up the reality to them that I can hike and that I will continue on, with so much getting them to understand that I'm capable of hiking, and finally they allowed me to continue on, I moved up midway through the group. And when I moved up midway through the group, everybody was talking about the other person that was at the very back of the group, that they were overweight and incapable of hiking, and blah, 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 all this name-calling and gossip and all this stuff. That's where it gets bad. That's the kind of stuff that needs to end. Right? And I'm not kidding you, that's what happened. So the guy in the front of the group, and I finally got to the guy in the front of the group that had an ego the size of Texas. Nothing against Texas. But he had an ego, huge, massive ego. He spent time, 15 minutes of a break before we continued on. He started competing with all the women. Come on, I know you can take me, I know you can take me. Come on, try to take me out. Come on, women, come on. What is that? Why is a hiking leader even allowing that? So finally, as I got to him, he ran out of water. He couldn't do it. And he was exhausted, and he was starting to get dehydrated. And I had to supply him what water I had, which was enough for donkeys like that. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope you understand it. I want to hear all you guys' comments to what you think about competition and hiking. If you don't feel that there's any competition in hiking, let me know why you feel that. Don't just say there's no competition in hiking, period. That's, you're not helping me. Right? Build some paragraphs here. Maybe I'll learn some grammar and English in the process. So, let me know what you feel about it, so I can understand it. Because honestly, I don't know everything. I'm always learning. I'm not the best. I'm not a guru. I'm always learning. All right, guys. Well, you have a great day. Enjoy yourselves. Stay cool. We got about 85. What's the degree? 85 degrees. Pretty good. Pretty good. And I know 4th of July is coming up, or probably already passed during this video. Well, if you guys are watching this and 4th of July has not passed yet, or even if it has, I'm so against fireworks this year. I'm not a big firework fan in general. But that stuff is extremely dangerous. And we have, all this brush going on. We haven't got a lot of rain this year. Everything's drying out. Creeks that weren't even providing any water this year at all. Waterfalls that barely put out anything. We don't have a lot of water this year. There's dry stuff everywhere. Oak trees are starting to, there's, there's branches that are dead. There's a lot of dead foliage around here. And it just takes one spark. Okay? So these people that have these ranches here, or people that have homes, they've had these ranches and homes all their life. They've had horses and cattle. And we have to respect that, okay? Not take it away from them. So just understand, Cal Fire's got their hands full this year, and they had their hands full last year. And the year before that. Those guys are doing awesome. So let's make it easier on them, and let's just not have a firework show this year, and just be with each other. Have some hot dogs and hamburgers, or whatever it is that you guys do. Hang out at the pool, and just enjoy that. Enjoy the community. Okay. Alrighty. Take care. That's a geocache. Let's see here. What's this got for me? These are geocaches. They, very creative. They come up with all kinds of different ways to put the stuff in them. Notes, and looks like a ring or something in there. When they were here. Oh, that's cool. Matt, Jen, all these names when they were. That was this geocache. I find these things all the time, and I don't play the geocache game. I'm not like I'm against it. I just get involved in photography and the deeper side of nature. But it's really fun. It keeps people active. There's a big band of people that like it. That's cool. It's a creative way of geocaching. They got the faded away a little bit, but they've painted looks like a medicine container. And you can find them. I run into them all the time. Usually I run into them when I'm taking a pee. Cool. Just right over here. I'm not going to tell you where it's at. I'll let you guys figure that out yourself. That's a pretty cool geocache, because this is an area not a lot of people visit. Especially this trail. Add that to my geocache finds. I've probably found over, 6 or 7 in my lifetime.